Hello everybody and welcome back to the Bunker Show, where we'll be, each week we spend an hour featuring some great local music, some great local artists from Sunderland, telling you about what's going on bunker wise, what's going on in the local music scene in Sunderland. We have a chat to somebody this week. Pleased to be interviewing. I'm going to chat with Dan and Michael, two people who come along to our we call it our Bunker Band Club, which is a weekly workshop for young people. They'll also be playing a couple of songs for us. We'll be talking about a couple of Halloween gigs that we've got going on at the Bunker. We'll also be referring back to Waves, which was on last week's show, which is next week in town. And Michael is busking around town. We'll talk about that. We'll also listen to some of our favourite songs. We'll have a listen and a watch of a couple of archive tracks from the Bunker, and anything else that we might throw up. So, I'd like to introduce Michael and Daniel. Hello, gents. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm all right.
Yeah. Thanks for coming along.
Aye.
No
Yeah.
bother.
You, she's kind of home from home. Daniel, you've been coming here since you were maybe 13 or 14.
Aye.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we've touched on this before. You like kind of one fateful summer before COVID. You emailed looking for a bit of work experience. You came
Aye.
down to help us with the radio show down at
Oh,
Spa,
yeah, I remember that.
which was a good few years ago. And then you had a few lessons and then joined band club, and the sort of world's your oyster now, isn't it?
All the doors unlocked, and then there you go.
Yeah,
Straight
getting that
in.
one and lock it back up again. Yeah. You worked here for a while before you moved on to sort of bigger and better things. But essentially, we're talking about band club.
Yeah.
Really imaginatively titled project, where young people between the ages of anyone who's competent to be able to play in a group. So if you're 4, which is unlikely, but if we have had people kind of 8, 9 and 10 who can play an instrument competently in a group, play cover, all the way up till about 18, 19, when people tend to spread the wings and go on. So you've been coming for a few years. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about kind of your kind of thoughts, memories, what you like about it, just to kind of paint a picture for the people at home?
I mean, like, what specifically, like the whole kind of like story, basically, kind of brushing on it, or like just the Bunker Band Club?
Whatever you want, mate.
Whatever I want. Well, I mean,
Avoid talk about trains, please.
Oh, I'll avoid it. Don't worry.
Okay.
So when I got work experience, I remember like I can't remember how I found out about the band club, but I found out about it somehow, and then I went the first Friday, and it's 4 till 6, and I immediately made friends with it was at the time it was Hannah, Scarlett, and Sophie.
Yeah.
And Grace would come along as well. Do you remember Grace? She'd come
certainly.
along as well.
Hi, Grace, if you're listening.
Hello. I took that as an opportunity because I'd always practice in school playing drums, and then I went, oh, I'm taking this as an opportunity here. Go on, let's just kick it off a bit, and then from the Bunker it spurred on to find out about the YMP, the Young Musicians Project, which I then went to for a few years until COVID came, and I've not went back since, mainly because I haven't got the time these years, but
Very busy man, aren't you?
I am, yes, very busy, yes.
So what did you do on these early sessions with these girls that are kind of thrown into this new? Because a lot of people come along for the first time, or they go into a room with new people. They've not played in a band before.
Yeah.
How daunting was it, or how kind of friendly was it? How did you manage to sort of get the end of the session and go, I'm going to come back for more?
I don't think it was really that daunting, to be honest, because when I came in, I mean, it was a bit daunting at first when I just everyone's looking at us like, oh, who's he? It's like, oh dear, I need to introduce myself, and I can be a bit awkward sometimes, so I'm not good on that part. But then I remember Sophie just started playing this riff on guitar, which she still plays to this day.
The same one, eh?
The same one, and I just picked up the drums on it. I think I did like a 16 beat or something like that on it, and then I remember everyone going, whoa, you know what? Like, ooh, we've got a drummer now, yay! Yeah. And then started writing more stuff, and then developed more over time.
But I remember when you sent me that original email, you played a few instruments and still do.
Yeah.
It wasn't long after that you then came in, so you helped out at Spark for a little bit down at the radio show, and you then came in and did your first demo. This was before you'd really joined Point Blank. But your first demo. Can you remember that and doing a session here on Spark and we videoed it? Yeah?
I can remember it, but I can't remember what the song sounds like.
It was one of your songs, I think.
It was, and then I remember
Patrick possibly, what was it? Philo engineered it.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
But that was the first time you'd recorded. So within a few months, you'd sent an email. You'd kind of come in, been thrown in with met a lot of new friends.
Yeah.
Formed a bit of a kind of a friendship group, bit of a band. Then gone in, done a demo. Where did it go from there? Because I think it wasn't long after doing that demo that you started playing with Point Blank. And you stopped playing drums because they had a drummer. Picked up the bass, which you'd not necessarily played before, started doing lead vocals.
Well, it was. I found out about that when at a Pop Rex session. I think someone came. I think it was Grace who came down the stairs. No, it weren't. It was Shannon who came down the stairs. It was when it was next door in Pop Rex, when it used to be the cafe there in the basement. Shannon came down the stairs and said she's got two friends who were looking for a bassist and a singer to start a band. Mm-hmm. So me and Zippy, Matthew Miller, we immediately went, oh, we'll go. And then I picked up the bass from there. I said, because obviously, Zippy, you're a good guitar player, so why don't you pick up the guitar? I'll try and teach myself bass. I ended up just doing root notes, so kind of boring, not very good at bass, and obviously singing as well.
But it lasted a while. It wasn't as kind of slipshod as you sort of describe it there. Not long after that, Point Blank then recorded the first demo for you. The first recordings.
It was the first EP.
EP, yeah.
Aye. There was 5 tracks on that.
And there was a live, there was a gig here as well, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
At some point. So before we kind of move on to this, episode 2, because I'm already thinking there's film producers at home going, hey, this biopic, this story is good enough to make a film. So hopefully, who would you play you anyway? Do you think?
You are.
Who would play you in this film?
Me.
Right, okay.
Me.
So before we go to that, we'll take a chance to have a watch and listen to one of the Point Blank songs that they did in session here. Okay.
Aye.
This is Point Blank.
Topper.
She's gone crazy and I'm clueless. Insanity's hurting me. Insanity's killing me. What am I doing with my wasted life? Unemployment on the rise, and the lessons still oppressed. Good from bad, I don't know. I think I might be walking, she's gone crazy and I'm clueless. Insanity's hurting me. Insanity's killing me. Good from bad, I don't know. I think I might be walking, she's cold man. Who even cares? I don't know. I think I might be walking, she's gone sick.
So that was Point Blank. It was recorded here at the bunker, which Dan was in at the time.
Yeah.
You then you and Point Blank parted ways. You just got a few musical differences, few other ideas. You were only young, and that's kind of thing that happens. So we'll not necessarily dwell too much on that.
Oh no,
but
you
like
never dwell on the past.
of course, yeah. So where did you go from then musically? You
Well, what happened was, it's like I kind of over time I sort of realised that, you know what, maybe I'm not a good front man. I did one gig at Independent with them, and I was just a singer. I didn't have any instruments or anything, and I just stood there like a tree, and you know I didn't have any emotions, any character or anything. I was just stood there singing me words, and so obviously I realised, oh well, that's not for me. You know, I think I better
more
try
comfortable,
something
more
different.
comfortable with an instrument.
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So then, obviously, the what was it called? That thing that we did at the bunker, the where everyone came together and learned an instrument. That workshop.
The
thing.
rock school.
The rock school. That's the one. I came to rock school, met more people there, came across the likes of Dan Ryan, Michael, and Matthew.
Yeah.
And at the time, me, Matthew, Dan, and Matthew Miller. Did
that was at the rock school? Yes, it was. I think it was last year. I was talking about different ages, but there was
last year, yeah.
Okay.
And me and Matthew kind of had an idea from then. And thought, oh, hang on, here we could start a band here.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we're both big fans of the Smiths, so we're like, I'd like to do something like along that sort of genre of stuff. And then obviously that's when, as it were at the time, Violet became a band, and Dan hopped on board, and then soon after got changed to Lilac Avenue, and Michael joined as the bassist, and we've got one track out on Spotify and like all listening places. It's the only one we've got to record before the band broke up, which I won't go into on that part.
We might have a listen to it later on. Obviously, time to bring in Michael. Thank you for waiting patiently.
I know.
Yeah. I was going to just miss you out altogether, but you know, let's not do that. So what? Yeah. So you came along this period. What encouraged you to come along? Was it somebody dragged you along, or did you like, hey, I like the sound of this. I want to be one of those weirdos.
Yes, one of those weirdos. Well, I met Dan Bryan in college. I went to Gateshead College on an open evening thing, and I'd like come to the bunker before and seen them play, and we just started talking, and he said it'd be great if you could like play the bass for us, and I said, well, like, you know, my first instrument's guitar, but I'll learn anything, so I started doing the bass, and then we started doing our own songs. So I learned all of their, you know, set lists and everything, the songs that they had already, and then from there we started making songs all together. Yeah, and got more gigs, and it was great.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, how did you find that band club sort of workshop environment? I think you kind of joined an existing band, so it wasn't as if you were all put together, but you had kind of just been assembled from different parts, as it were. How did you you know? And there were other people going in other rooms. Yeah. It is a very see, kind of relaxed and informal at times, maybe a little bit too informal, but you know, it's there to allow you to be creative. How did you find that that environment as your first introduction to kind of being in a band?
No, I thought it was great, because you know, we came here and there's loads of people everywhere, and it's all people our age doing music, and then I got involved with the band, doing stuff, and then from there you just get more connections, and then find out how to do gigs, and you start playing with other people, and it was great.
Okay, so since then you have kind of splintered off into two little like Liam and Nolan, got your own little bands now, but you know, today you are going to do something together. At the minute, you're doing when you come in, you're doing some stuff with Shea,
from college,
and Dan does some stuff with Joe.
Yeah, well, I'm working with him
as well. Yeah. So tell me about like where it's going at the moment. Obviously, you're playing the Bunker Halloween gig tomorrow. With Shea.
Yep.
Under the temporarily titled Polari, which came from the first thing you found.
Well, we've been throwing terms around. I always think band names are awful, really, like, you know, to decide on. But yeah, that was just.
And was it something you saw in a chemists, or where did it come from?
No, it's gay slang.
Oh, right, okay.
It's like a gay language from the 60s, something
Right, okay.
like that, yeah. So he thought that was quite interesting. I thought it was like a peculiar name, but yeah, I don't think we'll be keeping
that one. Right, okay. So what are you going to do tomorrow, you and Shay?
We're doing 5 or 6 songs, I think it is, covers.
Okay. Really? Are we going to allow you to do 5 or 6 maybe? Yeah, okay.
If with your permission. Squeeze in 6. And I'm doing guitar and singing, and she is doing guitar and singing, and then we're going to get Adam on the drums.
Okay. So describe, Cooksy's going to play. Describe the for the listeners at home what they would expect if they come down. What will be tonight to the to the gig? What will they expect from the three of you?
Well, we'll be doing rock, so sort of like, you know, if you like indie, the Smiths, Joy Division, and then we do more like, you know, classic, The Who, My Generation, and also we're doing Bring It On Down by Oasis, very heavy, good for a crowd, and then Painted Black because it's Halloween.
Okay. You've been going along to the open mic night down at Unique every other Friday.
Yeah.
Taking our instruments and leaving them there, not bringing them back. How do you find that, that environment, both of you, when you leave here, hyped up after being really creative and then going down there and taking our instruments and leaving them down there and playing at that open mic night?
Well, I do try to return them. I always tell you that I'll get them back by 10:15 at the latest. I absolutely love it, me. I think it's absolutely topper. Just having that opportunity to be able to just like go up on stage, show off your talent, and just randomers. Yeah. It's really good. It like kind of gets your name out a little bit as well, I think, because like now when we go, like the likes of Joe and Terry and that, they'll recognise us. And Fred, the owner, he knows who I am and all now. It's like he knows who we all are. And it's like, oh well, there you go. Like we're known there. It's a really good time.
So it's a bit like a kind of musical nudist speech. You just like bare all to these strangers, and if they enjoy it, and you enjoy the sort of exhibitionism of it all. You know?
Do you it's a good experience. Yeah. Well, it gets your experience for performing. And then, because it's not just the same people every week, you get like some people go, oh, that was great. And then, you know, it just builds up your confidence and you get more gigs through the people there. So it's more networking and stuff like that.
It really does. It's like, and the thing is as well, with Unique, it's always a case of everyone who's there, everyone's so like kind and like really generous, and they always give really good feedback as well. And that like boosts our confidence as well, and it like proper like puts us at the highest point that we can be, which I really like. It boosts me confidence, makes us play better as well.
Talking about being high, kind of metaphorically, and kind of feeling inside. Yeah, good. So we'll before going to Waves, because you're going to be performing for us at Waves as well next week in Buskin in town. We had Ben Richardson and we had Eve Cole on last week. Eve who played a couple of songs talking about Waves Festival. We're going to have a listen to one of the bands who were playing Waves. I can't remember which venue, but we'll have a listen to Hive Mind now. Here we go.
I cry
So that was Hive Mind with Crying All the Time. You can see them at Waves next week, along with an amazing lineup, which we went through last week. Go online, go on the socials and look for Waves Festival. Go and get your ticket because there's not many left. Got to get them in advance if you can, and go out and enjoy that day and hopefully see you at the bunker. And while you're going around town, you might bump into Michael and some of the other artists who are busking around town. So what kind of things people expect from you busking? Hopefully it'll be nice weather. Have you busked? Have you busked in town before?
Yeah, I've done a bit of busking before,
Yeah.
but it's it's a bit different. It's not quite Tommy Smith level yet.
No.
But I start somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about busking, it's difficult in that a lot of people are going from A to B and just walking past you.
Yeah.
And you've got to kind of try and blank that out and focus on your performance. And it's not necessarily about trying to encourage everybody to stop what they're doing and come and watch. It's about animating the streets and entertaining them or whatever. How do you prepare for that differently to say the gig tomorrow? Are you going to prepare for anything different other than maybe wear an extra layer of clothes?
Well, yeah, apart from keeping warm. Well, when people come to a gig, they've paid to be there, so that everybody in the room likes it. So I think you're more confident in a room full of people who want to see you because they're gonna enjoy it. I mean, even if they don't like that type of music, they've paid to see music.
But there's the added pressure that they've paid to see it, and if they don't like it, they might demand the money back or whatever. Whereas a busker and somebody in the street hadn't paid for it, so they're not going to come and ask for the money back.
Yeah, there's that as well. So if you're busking on the street, it's just usual people walking around town, stuff like that. So they'll like put a bit of money in if they go, oh, that's great, because it's usually non-musicians who find it quite exciting when you're busking. Yeah.
Course, but still part of a bigger festival, and maybe next year might be your chance to play on the actual bill itself. That'd be exciting. Is there anybody in particularly at the festival that you'd like to go and see? Have you seen anybody? Obviously, you mentioned Tommy Smith.
Yes,
everyone loves Tom.
Like Tom.
Yeah. He was on Soccer AM this morning as well. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Would you like to go and see Tom? Do you think you'll get a chance
to? Yeah, I'd love to see Tom. I think he's great. We've seen him quite a few times. He does the laundrette in Durham.
Yeah.
And
Old Cinema Laundrette.
Ages ago.
Old Cinema Laundrette.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he's good for young talent. He's good to look up to. Mm-hmm. So obviously he's not that old.
He's over 18 now, so
a
little bit older than you, but certainly somebody to look at. In that he's been in the scene now for a good few years, and
we went to see him college.
Did you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we've seen him there a few times.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So before we just get to play a song or two, what's the future of both bands, or and you individually? Obviously, Dan, you're a train enthusiast. And you're at college doing a rail apprenticeship.
I've actually dropped out of college.
Oh. They're getting news here first, people. Whoa, really? That's so disappointing. Yeah. When was that?
I dropped out literally Friday gone. Mainly because I'm never gonna actually be a railway engineer, so to speak, because I'd rather be in the cab driving the train, not putting the tracks out. I don't ever want to do that. It hurts me back. It's not good for me back, and I don't enjoy it at all. And at the end of the day, I'd rather have more money, so, I've went full-time temporarily, and then I'll look for an apprenticeship.
Okay, so that's a good message to the kids at home. Sticking at college, don't do that.
Yeah, sticking at college, people.
Quickly touch on your back, because you mentioned that you have scoliosis. And was it last?
I've got a top on that matches it, actually. Scoliac coming through.
Right, okay. Is that why you can't eat kind of certain breads?
No, I don't know. I found it funny, so I got me friend to make us a T-shirt that just said "Scoliac coming through."
How long ago? Last year, you got an operation which straightened out your spine to a degree, made you about 4 inches taller.
It was actually, was it March 21 or March 2020? I can't remember. It was in a March, and I think it was like a year ago, or maybe just over a year ago.
Okay.
I can't remember. But no, I had
You've been waiting for the operation for quite a while, haven't you?
I waited for it for a long time. I got diagnosed 3 years prior, that I had scoliosis, and it was only 25 degrees curved at the time of the diagnosis. And then 3 years on, obviously COVID came, and so my operation got delayed like 3 times, and well, as a result, if I rephrase it, because I've lost my train of thought there, it's like I wasn't actually scheduled to have surgery. I was just going to do like physiotherapy, and that would have helped us. But because they waited too long to get us in an appointment for that, then I had to go for surgery, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was 75 degrees curved.
Yeah. So it wasn't noticeable to other people, but I remember you showing me the X-ray of this kind of
it was noticeable. It was noticeable in my stance. I was proper lopsided all the time.
Yeah. Right.
One shoulder was higher than the other. One hip actually dipped in like a lot, and then the other hip just went completely straight up, and you could see it in my back as well. I've got a picture on my phone. And I sometimes look back at it and think, hey my, that is crazy, that, you know.
So now straightened up, loads taller, loads more confident and happy.
It actually has made us taller, you know. Made us taller by like 2 inches.
And can you reach those higher notes now?
I can, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not all about you. What's coming up for you, Michael?
Well, I haven't got scoliosis.
No.
I'm still going to be.
It's got a bit of an attitude problem,
Yes,
which
there is.
can't be operated upon, unfortunately.
No, it can't.
Yeah.
Take after you.
Yeah.
No, we'll be still doing stuff. Trying to get gigs more often, and just writing a lot, because though covers are great if you want to like get known, you know, you should do half and half. So I mean, you can juggle doing 2 bands, like I'd like to, doing a heavier sort of style with you and Joe, and then do more indie Sam Fenderish stuff with Shay. So that's what we'll be doing.
Interesting. In both camps, fingering 2 pies and all that. Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna play a couple of tunes for us.
Yeah.
What you're gonna play?
So it's a quick decision, this. So About a Girl, because I know it.
Okay.
On guitar. Nirvana.
And Love Will Tear Us Apart. Joy Division.
Right. Okay. So while they get ready, we'll have a listen and a look at another track from a band playing Waves Festival, and we've picked Go Signals, local rockers. Go Signals with 2 strokes in between. Proper bangers. These will be great to go and see a Waves Festival next week as well. So here are Go Signals.
Shut down every single agenda, threw his heart into her lungs, took on a role of royal defender. 'Cause in a time of dead and eyes,
So that was English Fiction from Ghost Signals. Go and find them on socials, stream that, as with all of the music we're playing here. Look on, stream your local stuff. Go and support your local music scene, and go and get a ticket for Waves for next week, and go and see them as well. I also see as well, we've just recently just announced a couple of days ago about Sunlun Calling, another festival coming up in Sunland in July. We'll maybe touch on that in the coming weeks. But again, I think tickets have just gone on sale at just a tenner. But for now, we're promoting Waves, and we've been talking about the Halloween gigs at the Bunker. So over the moon to introduce Daniel and Michael without a band title, because it's just to kind of make it up as you go along. I'm going to play a couple of songs just now. So here they are.
Well, this is a cover by Nirvana. The song's called About a Girl. I need an easy friend, I do, with a little end, I do. Think you fit this shoe, I do, but you have a clue. I'll take advantage while you hang me out to dry, but I can't see you every night free. I do. I'm standing in your line, I do. Hope you have the time, I do. Pick a number 2, I do. Keep a day with you. I'll take advantage while you hang me out to dry, but I can't see you every night free. I need an easy friend, I do, with a little end, I do. Think you fit this shoe, I do, but you have a clue. I'll take advantage while you hang me out to dry, but I can't see you every night. No, I can't see you every night. I do, I do, I do, I do. Oh, there you go there. Your turn to introduce this one.
Right. This one is Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division. Oh, this bass is a bit funky. Right.
Comes in.
hard and ambitions are low and resentment rides high, but emotions won't grow, and we're changing our ways, taking different roads. Love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again.
Why is the bedroom so cold? Turned away on your side. Is my timing that flawed? Our respect runs so dry. Yet there's something so good, just can't function no more. Love, love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Why is the bedroom so cold? Turned away on your side. The respect runs so dry as desperation takes hold. Just that something so good just can't function no more. Love will tear us apart. Love will tear us apart again. Love. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Sure.
Thanks for joining us and tuning in this week. We'll see you again same time next week. Thanks to everybody for, to Dan and Michael for coming along and chatting about Band Club and Halloween gig. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the music. Thanks to them for playing. Really enjoyed that. We'll see you same time next week. Remember, you can if you're listening to this on 107 FM or asking your smart speaker to play sparksunderland.com to listen to that, or if you're listening to us on YouTube, give a like and a comment and a thumbs up and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you same time next week. Bye.